Happy New Year, Star Wars Unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba. We are now into 2024. It is a new year, but I do not put down the tree yet. As I've said on previous episodes, I defy anyone to challenge this. The holiday season should end after January 6th. At the time of this recording, it is January 1st, New Year's Day. So, we're keeping it up. We're keeping the party going. We're keeping the holidays going. My last episode, you saw, if you watched the episode previous, going to be the one previous to this one, you would have seen a walk around Batuu. We did go down to Walt Disney World and to visit in Orlando to visit our daughter, who works in and around the parks as an artist, and our caricature and nameworks artist. Hint, hint. If you're ever down there, you need some awesome caricature and nameworks art. Look for her name's Crina, C-R-I-N-A. Easy name to find on the name tag, and she generally has a lot of hours currently at the Art Corner, which is in Disney Springs. So check it out. She's there as a nameworks artist primarily. There's lots of other artists that are there. They do some amazing work, one of a kind. The most unique thing you're going to find in Walt Disney World, because it's tailored to something specifically that you ask for, and they do some amazing stuff. I did an episode on a caricature work that she did a while back. I'm going to do a nameworks one as well sometime in the future. But for now, we were there. We had a wonderful time. We barely went on any rides. It was very crowded. But we don't go down during the holiday season to go on rides. Rides are there. Rides are fun, but we go on rides all the time. We're down there quite a bit because our daughter works there. So we go down there too, and we enjoy the parks all throughout the year, here and there. Whenever we have a break, we take the time to go. So this wasn't about rides. Instead of it was about enjoying all the holiday festivities. In fact, the first part of the video is us walking through Hollywood Studios, and it's all decked out for the holidays. And we just enjoy being down there for that type of thing during the week, seeing the special shows. They had storytellers doing different holiday-themed storytelling in Epcot. They had holiday-themed music by the performing musicians all throughout the four parks. It was just an outstanding trip, and we had a great time. And of course, Batuu was in its glory. Now, I do wish that Disney would really commit, as they've done somewhat. They've dipped their toe in the Life Day Star Wars version of Christmas idea by selling merch, and that's fantastic. They've also allowed people to have like Life Day meetups, which is also great. Just take it one step further, Disney. Deck the halls. Let's get everything decked out for something that kind of fits into the Life Day. Life Day's theme is basically red robes and orbs, blue orbs. You can do stuff like that throughout that area and let it be something that looks a little bit different without taking away from the overall feel of Galaxy's Edge. I hope that's something that they'll do in the future. The merch is great. Keep the merch coming. We love that. In fact, I actually ordered some things on clearance, and there'll be things coming in the mail. We had an ornament that I actually put up here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Han and Chewie, Life Day ornament there. There's a couple of other things that are coming through that I'll put on future episodes. Today, it's kind of a hodgepodge episode. A little bit of odds and ends, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And these are things that I kind of stumbled across in different areas, and I just kind of wanted to share them with you here. So, first thing I had was, Disney is celebrating their 100th anniversary. So the 100th anniversary of the Disney company was formulated in 2023. It does seem to be winding down. I don't think they're going to really be doing much different than what they've already been doing. I think they've now started to, go into just like a business as usual type of thing down in the parks. But merchandise has been pretty interesting. There's been this really cool amount of like kind of silvery themed thing in the parks, and other companies like Hallmark have had ornaments and things of that nature. I did not get the ornaments, but I did pick up the Pez dispenser 4-pack. I can't even remember where I got it. I think I might have got this at Michael's. And the Pez dispenser 4-pack includes R2, Vader, Grogu, and Chewie. I like that. That's a really good 4-pack of, we have characters like, of course, Vader represents the original trilogy. We've got R2 and Chewie that kind of float between all three trilogies. Then you have Grogu, who's kind of representing the new streaming Star Wars that we're seeing these days. So it's a really cool thing. I'm not going to open it up at this time. I do have a little Pez, little display arena kind of in my space kind of behind the camera. I'll put it up with them. But it's a nice thing. I like it. There was also a Santa Yoda from last year that I still kind of put up for the holidays. So that was kind of nice. So, again, I'm not doing as much odd oddball Star Wars collecting anymore. I have pulled back a lot. You'll notice this change. I invite people who have just stumbled across this channel to look through it. We're on. This is episode, I think, 724, I believe. That's a lot of episodes. We've had a lot of different content here, and I will tell you, it's been evolving because I'm evolving. I'm changing as a collector. I'm changing how I collect. I've actually pulled back on collecting. I've actually, taken a less is more attitude, even though, yes, we still do a lot of unboxings, but I'm also, selling things off and making donations to charitable organizations with my collection, stuff like that. So I don't know how long this will be in the collection. I might, keep it for a while and then maybe sell off the entire Pez collection. We'll see. I'm not doing it to make oodles of money. If I can make a little bit back than what I spent, great. And I've been using that money to do my next new passion, which is to just be down in Walt Disney World, because we spend so much time down there, and enjoy Batuu and enjoy the Galaxy's Edge and do the Halcyon, which I did. And hopefully there'll be something new that they're going to announce soon that will take the place of that, or some other ideas, like things that are coming. So I'm just excited for the future of Star Wars. I know a lot of people say it's dead, and not me. I'm not one of those people. But Star Wars Pez, an awesome thing. Really good. Next, this is not Star Wars. This is something else entirely, and it was actually a gift given to me by my friend Larry. And Larry's actually been on the channel a few times. He's kind of co-hosted once or twice, and he is my Star Wars buddy. He has gone with me to some Star Wars celebrations. He is to other local conventions. We went to the two of us went to the original Men Behind the Mask tour. So that's how long our friendship goes back. For those who don't remember that, Men Behind the Masks is basically a tour where all the masked characters that wore masks, like Peter Mayhew, Kenny Baker, Jeremy Bullock, David Prowse, Anthony Daniels, they all went around and did this tour and did a local convention scene. And it was very low-key. It was nothing like Star Wars Celebration. You could walk up to most. I think Anthony Daniels did have a bit of a line, but everybody else you could walk. Oh, Warwick Davis was there too. You could walk right up to people and take photos with them at their booths, or big purchase autographs. It was very low key and very fun, and that's how I got to meet all of these actors before things really took a turn. This was in the early '90s, and then things kind of became much more, frantic and crazy with Star Wars Celebration, with the prequels, and then things after that. So my friend Larry has been a lifelong friend at this point, I will say, and he's a lover of not just Star Wars, but he loves all things sci-fi and fantasy, and he finds things that he think I might be interested in. And one of them that he found for me was the Black Hole Souvenir photo album and Story of album. Okay, now kids, so a little history lesson here. Before streaming and before video cassettes and DVDs and Betamax tapes, but you don't even know what those are. If you enjoyed a movie and you wanted to see it on repeat viewing, you had basically two options to see it. This is going back into the 70s. You go to the movie theater and you keep going as much as possible until they took the movie out. Sometimes movie companies would bring the movies back year after year if they were really successful. Or you watch the movie once or twice in the theater, and then you would get this. You would get the story of that movie in album form. Okay? Star Wars did this. I know I had them. I had them from things like, Star Wars, Empire, Jedi. I'm pretty sure that you could get them for things like even later in the 90s, like Chicken Run. Anybody remember that movie? It was a Aardman claymation movie. You could get it for that. I think Little Mermaid did him. I think a lot of the Disney movies did him. And sure enough, The Black Hole did him as well. It was a pretty common practice. And it basically, how did it work? It was essentially, well, how long is the record normally? About 40 minutes, 20 minutes on each side, right? An LP. And you would get a record, and it would have the story of, basically they would condense the entire thing down to a 40-minute version of the theater of the mind. You'd be able to listen to the story. There was no book only, and this is not to be confused with the read-along book, so you know when it's time to turn the page when you hear R2 beep like this. Beep, 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 beep. No, that's a whole different genre. It's a whole different thing. So what this was essentially music from the film, story, elements, little sound effects and dialogue from the film, kind of pieced together in as I said, 20 minutes on the side, then you flip the record over, and then it'd be 20 minutes on the other side. And this is how many of us would get to enjoy the story after we saw it in the movies. So, now I can't say Black Hole was, obviously this is the Disney's version or Disney's attempt at trying to essentially make Star Wars themselves before they realized that the best thing they could do is probably just buy Star Wars, which is what they eventually did. So they tried their hand with this, the Black Hole. Now, I have a nostalgic attachment to the Black Hole because it was in that, when I was in that sci-fi genre. The three movies that really put me in that mode: Star Wars, of course, Star Trek the Motion Picture, and the Black Hole. It's like those three movies were just, to me, in the zeitgeist, the cultural zeitgeist. Even though Black Hole wasn't as successful, Star Trek the Motion Picture was very successful, but in retrospect, it's considered one of the weaker movies because this one and Star Trek were very slow. They were a little more, they were a little less action oriented and a little bit more ethereal and major think and stuff like that. In fact, the ending in this one was really bizarre. I cannot wait to listen to this because I want to hear how they did that. How did they do that? The Black Hole album features Maximilian Schell, Anthony Perkins, Robert Forster, Joseph Bottoms, and Yvette Mimieux, along with Ernest Borgnine. I would imagine that Roddy McDowell and Slim Pickens will make appearances too as the voice of the Vincent robots, right? But who knows? Maybe not. Maybe they had to have somebody else do it. So anyway, so this is essentially the story of the Black Hole. And he found this and he was able to give it to me. Thankfully, I have a record player that I can play it off of. And it includes some really great imagery from it. Honest to goodness, folks, it's if you've never seen it, it is definitely worth watching. It's now available on Disney+. The score is outstanding. It is just really an interesting kind of music composer. Yeah, John Barry, who's gone on to do some good stuff. Composer. Production design by Peter Ellenshaw. Peter Ellenshaw, really, really great matte painting artist, okay, who I believe did some stuff for Star Wars as well. So it's got a lot of parallels, all right? And but again, it did not have nearly the success that Star Wars did. However, there is a nostalgic, trip back to this now. You can actually get, if you look back, there's an old episode where I actually have Vincent and Maximilian, which is the name of the villain robot, figures that I kind of put in and snuck into my Star Wars collection to see if anybody could find them. So, Black Hole, pretty cool thing. It's actually kind of a Christmas gift from my friend Larry. So, Larry, thank you very much. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. May 2024. Totally rock. All right. So, when we got together pre-Christmas to, we usually go and see a movie. We saw Aquaman. Liked it. A lot of fun. The Aquaman sequel. Then we'd like to go around looking at stores. Well, ever since Toys R Us closed, that has become kind of a dismal thing. We go to Target, sometimes Walmart. There's a Super Walmart and a Target right near where we are. But there just isn't as much stuff out there that I haven't already pre-ordered if I collect anything. But it is kind of neat to see what other things are out there. Then we went into a Ross. And there's been a lot of collectors talking about the department store Ross. Now, generally speaking, Ross is like clothing and, for adults, for children. There isn't a huge amount of stuff there for people not interested in clothing. They do have some toys. They do have, it's like a department store. They have a little toy section. People are, and people are in there finding stuff to give as little gifts, especially around the holidays. They kind of beef up their toy section, kind of like Kohl's and a lot of other clothing-centric department stores do, to try to, entice people to make their purchases there. Well, the neat thing about Ross is that they get stuff on discount. So they put out stuff on discount. So there were a few things that I picked up that were really, really inexpensive, such as Ahsoka, which is this is the regular vintage collection, VC222 Ahsoka, along with the the retro version of Ahsoka. So I was kind of excited to get these. Now, I've already unboxed Ahsoka. I'm going to try really, really gently to take this label off. And because I'm going to keep this one carded, because I've already unboxed one Ahsoka. I don't need to unbox another one. In fact, I've actually unboxed more than one. I've unboxed two Ahsokas, because there was an Ahsoka from the Mandalorian episode, and one from of course, This is the Ahsoka from the Mandalorian episode. You know, and I think part of the reason that it was on sale was because they've already now have the Ahsoka on the Ahsoka label. So this was now old school, right? I love the retro series, guys. I really do. And I think Hasbro, it sounds to me like Hasbro is aware of this, and I have a feeling that we may be seeing the end of the vintage collection in favor of the retro collection. And I think they're going to just start coming out with more and more figures in retro style. And companies like Super 7 and Funko have been doing their own versions of that. So this one I will keep carded. It's the card's in pretty good shape. Obviously, it's meant to look worn. So, but there's a slight bend in it, but it's okay. So this will go up on the carded section display. But we have, of course, this is the vintage collection version. Now, for those who don't realize, retro and vintage, they're kind of similar, right? Retro style means 5 points of articulation, meaning head swivels, arms move at the shoulder joints, and legs move at the hip, leg hip joints. Okay, that's what retro is, because that's what the old figures were from the 70s and 80s. Now, Hasbro has done modern figures that had 5 points of articulation. That's what a lot of the Force Awakens, Rogue One, Last Jedi, Solo, I think, too, and maybe Rise of Skywalker. Okay, I think Rise of Skywalker might have been not. I think they didn't have their own dedicated line, but all those other ones did. And there was also some of those other series of figures that were just less expensive. Some of them were selling 2 in a pack for the same price as a regular, more articulated one individual for a pack. I like those. I thought those were great. But now that they're making more retro, those have kind of fallen to the back seat. So, but these are nice, more articulated, more detailed, obviously, figures. And this is Ahsoka. This is kind of Ahsoka's initial introduction. So I have a carded version of Ahsoka, so I have no problem unboxing this one. And now let's see. Does she hold her sabers? Let's see if she can hold them together. Now these, of course, have many more articulations. This is, so these work a lot better when it comes to posing. And I think that's one of the things that people don't always like about the... See, I'm going to try to get this one in a really cool looking pose. If I do this, if I bend it down like this. Oh yeah, there we go. And I'll put this one back there. There we go. So you have... I'm going to pose it like this. Stay focused. Stay focused. But you can see, comparatively to the Ahsoka face, you can see that, this one is very basic. And this one is a little more detailed. Almost a complete, a full-out scan of Rosario Dawson. So that's really, really cool. So, yes. All right. So Ahsoka finds a good spot up there. Good. Those are both $3.99. Now, I know in some cases it's like it's a sad day when you think $3.99 is a sale item. That's kind of sad. I remember when these figures were $1.99 in the store, kids, and when you could buy them on sale at 99 cents a pop. I'm talking vintage. In the 80s, like 84, 85, 86. You could go into a KB Toy Hobby, and there'd be a huge bin filled with figures. Power of the Force figures with the coin. And you could just buy them all at 99 cents each. A $20 bill. A $20 investment. You know how much those figures go for now if they're mint? I literally could put my kid through college with what those would sell for. Even the Power of the Force, even the later ones. So, if I had a time machine, that's what I would do. Anyway. The final item on our docket for today is the ObiWan Kenobi LA59 Lola. I know I got a Lola, but I don't think I got this Lola. I don't think I did. So I'm going to get this one unboxed and see if I can get it. I don't know if I don't have any batteries up, functioning right now, so I don't. It says it takes 2 AAA batteries. I do not know if those AAA batteries come with this right now. We shall see. I know I did get one Lola. I have to look around for it. I don't know if it's the exact same Lola. It might be a slightly different Lola. I know that there was like a couple of different types. I really enjoyed the Lola character. I loved ObiWan Kenobi. I love that series. And you know, people say, you know, you can love one for one reason and love others for other reasons. I loved Andor for many reasons that a lot of other people loved Andor. Ooh, this is a very seriously boxed Lola. But I can love all of the different Star Wars. I just love that we have this. I mean, I don't know why some people get so hell bent on, you know. I mean, I guess I can understand fatigue. I'm sort of feeling that for Marvel. You know, I feel like Marvel has. All right, now see if I can. Of course, is right. I'm feeling that for Marvel. I feel like I haven't seen the Marvels yet. I want to see the Marvels. It's just that, you know, with so much else going on with the holidays, it's just not easy to do. So, but I hope to get there. All right, let's see. Yay! Okay, cool. Now let's see. What can we do with this baby? Okay, you can close it and makes a couple of little. All right, and you can kind of pose it in different ways. I'm guessing that, I'm not sure if this comes off or not. And so, and then you can open it up. Okay, so it makes different sounds when you open it. And I think that you can open it up like. All right, that's cool. Okay, so it makes a couple of different sounds when you. Oh, sorry, and then it shuts down. Okay, so I don't know if it has. This was $8.99, folks. So even at a sale price, I feel as though you're really not getting much for it. You know, for that amount of money, it's a pretty basic thing. But I'm okay with that. You know, I'm good with it. Now the only thing I'm gonna keep the instructions because it shows you how to pull it out. Oh, I think you have to. Oh, I see. And that's where you would switch the batteries. So, I'm sorry, Lola. Okay. Do you talk after I say something? Check. No? It's just a cute character. I enjoy it. I enjoy the Lola character. I hope we get more Lolas. And then it shuts off after a few seconds. So, pretty good. But, you know, you can't beat the price, $8.99. And look, I'm not one. I do not support always waiting for something to go on sale. I've already purchased an Ahsoka Vintage Collection, and I've already purchased an Ahsoka Retro Collection. I chose to make another purchase to support the brand, that even in sales. Okay, so I hope that. I mean, I'm one of those few collectors that actually wants the Vintage Collection to end, gracefully, because I feel like, we're getting over 300 figures now. I think it's time for us to put a cap on it, maybe 325, maybe 350. I mean, yes, there'll be new TV series and new movies, and they may spawn new characters, but they don't have to spawn new characters. They don't have to spawn. I mean, I hope it doesn't stick to just Black Series, because I have some more Black Series that I'm going to unbox soon, but honest to goodness, I am kind of pulling back on the Black Series now. So, all right, so I think that'll do it for this episode. All right, so be sure, guys, to like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Darth Tuba. Sorry, X at Darth Tuba. And be sure to check out all the other content on Red 5. Thank you, Red 5 Network, for supporting this channel and getting it out there. Thank you all so much. Again, Happy New Year. And until next time, may the Force and the toys be with you.